Yo, what's going on YouTube? Jordan Sather here on September 25th, and I am back. As many of you know, for the past few days, I was doing an ayahuasca journey, so I'm here today to tell you a little bit about it and share with you the understanding that I've come to find about the process, discuss with you a little bit about psychedelic drugs, and maybe share some video clips that I took on the retreat I was at. But first and foremost, ayahuasca. Mama ayahuasca, as it's sometimes called. What exactly is it? I find that a lot of people are still unaware of exactly what ayahuasca is, so I want to discuss that first. Ayahuasca, otherwise known as the vine of the soul, is a vine that grows in the Amazon in South America, Peru, Brazil, surrounding areas. And this vine contains the molecule dimethyltryptamine, or DMT. Now, DMT is also produced in our pineal glands, our third eye. So when taking this ayahuasca brew, it's exactly what it does. It opens up your pineal gland and allows your mind to enter into expanded states of consciousness. And this ayahuasca vine has been used for thousands of years traditionally by shamans in the Amazonian rainforest. Now, it is very similar to some other psychedelic substances that are out there, like mushrooms that I have tried and some other substances. And I find that the whole concept, the whole ideology of psychedelics is very misunderstood in our culture, especially where I'm at in North America, United States here. And because of the ignorance surrounding psychedelics, there's a lot of misinformation that gets propagated because of this, and a lot of misunderstandings that occur. Now, you know, after trying, I've tried mushrooms a handful of times. I enjoy those greatly every once in a while, just for a good spiritual cleansing. And this was my first time doing ayahuasca. Psychedelic substances are nothing to toy around with. These are not drugs in the typical connotation of that term. They're medicines. Much better terminology to use for them. Psychedelic substances are medicines, and ayahuasca in particular is not only physically cleansing of the liver and the blood and other bodily systems, but it's emotionally and spiritually cleansing. And this is exactly why I used it, why many other people use it, why some people even travel down all the way to Peru to do their journey. Some people do it for weeks, multiple sessions at a time, because ayahuasca is very good at helping to clear past traumas, to heal your subconscious mind and even your conscious mind, and learn a little bit more about yourself, who you really are, why you're on this planet here, and your general purpose in life. And I found personally on the experience of ayahuasca I did 2 nights of it, and it was very gentle. It was a very gentle experience. Oftentimes people throw up, get sick to their stomach while doing ayahuasca. It's often known as purging, because you're purging not only physical vomit out of your body, but whatever emotional stuff is coming up. I didn't purge. I got a little queasy, but I didn't do that. And I didn't have visions. A lot of people have visions and actually see things and have very intense experiences doing ayahuasca, but that's not what happened to me. And I went into it with the intention of having my experience be very gentle. And that's exactly what the ayahuasca vine offered to me. This vine has a very innate intelligence to it, as you know, all herbs do, medicinal, psychedelic, whatever the case may be. But ayahuasca in particular, there's such an intelligence to this herb. And when taking it, it took a while to kick in. I used more than I thought I would need, and you know, I didn't get sick. But once it started to kick in, I didn't get, like I said, I didn't get those visuals. I didn't get much conscious effect from it. I actually got very tired. And in my first session that I did, I fell asleep for quite a bit of it, you know, a couple hours. Because usually the ayahuasca journey takes between 5, 6, 7, sometimes even 8 hours. It's a very prolonged dimethyltryptamine, I don't want to say trip, but experience. And I fell asleep for quite a bit of it. And near the end of the first journey, the first night, when the shamanista, I call her, amazing lady that was working with us, when she called us all up to basically end the first ceremony, the first night, I woke up, but I woke up from such a deep trance. I almost felt like I woke up out of waking up, like I was dreaming inside of a dream, like it was Inception going on in my head or something like that. But there was some very deep subconscious healing being done to me, and that's just how I feel. I don't even know yet, a couple days later, I don't even know what really occurred. And in the coming days and weeks and even months, I may remember or have those activations come into my being in a more conscious regard. But in this aspect, I had no idea what was being done to me, but I was very tired. And the next day, the first night ended about 1 in the morning. We went to bed, woke up the next day, greatly altered. I had such a feeling of ease, contentment. What do I want to say? I guess that's the best way to say it, contentment. I mean, you can even tell if you've been following my videos for quite a while, even the way I'm speaking to you now is probably a little different than a week or so ago, let alone a few months ago when my approach to my videos was a little more awkward. So it literally does have some, at least for me, and what I felt in that experience, there was some unconscious or subconscious healing being done to myself. Then we went into the second night of this ceremony, and the second night it was very similar. And the second night I went into it and I wanted some actual deeper healing. I believe the ayahuasca vine, the spirit that encompasses this plant, it offered me a great introduction in that first night because it was very gentle. And the second night I went into that experience with more of an intention of being wrecked gently, you could put it, because I wanted more shadow work to be done. I wanted to go into those deeper aspects of myself, and I'll explain the comparisons between psilocybin or mushrooms, magic mushrooms, and ayahuasca in a minute here. But that second night, once I took the brew, I then got into those states again. I didn't throw up. I didn't really see anything consciously. But in the second night, it was as if the ayahuasca vine understood, okay, we gave you the introduction the first night. Now, where do you want to go the second night? And it was very interesting because the second night, it was as if my mind, because like I said, most people get visions, they have visions that come to them. My mind was able to control where it wanted to go. So I was able to think, okay, this is what I want to review in my consciousness right now. So I basically went through the past 8 years of my life, essentially since high school, and consciously went through all of my experiences in those 8 lives. And really, I mean, memories were coming back to me that I hadn't remembered in years. And not only this, but I was going through each of my traumas and trying to see, you know, what was going on in my life. What do I need to heal from? What do I need to forgive myself from to be able to heal and bring more compassion and forgiveness and gratitude into my being now? So that's where the second night was. I was able to control where my thought processes were going. I basically gave myself a little life review and then went up to this present moment, and I don't want to say asked the plant, but I basically controlled my own thoughts to be pondering the ideas of where I should go next, because, you know, I have all these opportunities, I have all this ability, and, you know, there's so much to do, there's so much that is possible, I should say. So I was trying to find out where I should go next. So you know, pondered that for a little bit, and after that second session, I was wiped out. I actually fell asleep right there in the yurt that we were having the ceremony in. A few people did that. Most people went out to the tents or to their sleeping arrangements. I just passed out right there because I was extremely tired from all the work, both conscious and subconscious work that was done to me over the weekend. So I passed out, and that was that. I woke up, and we had the closing ceremony on the third day. So all in all, it was a very amazing experience and very gentle, but there was so much work that was done that I did. And ayahuasca itself is a very powerful medicine. And comparing it to other psychedelic medicines, hold on, the phone's gonna die here. It is, I mean, they all have their own personality. When I've dabbled previously in psilocybin, it is much lighter. It's much lighter of an essence to that medicine. And when using ayahuasca, it's much more subconscious work, of course, that I've been saying, but shadow work that you're doing and trauma that you're healing. It's as if, you know, psilocybin is bringing you up into those higher planes of existence to, you know, make you feel very blissful, but then ayahuasca does the same thing, but at the same time healing those underlying traumas in your being. So it's, you know, that's the comparison that I can make because those are the only two psychedelic substances that I've tried. And as for the future, I mean, I don't know if I'm ever going to do ayahuasca again. If I'm called to do it again, maybe. But I'm very happy that I did this experience, that I'm able to bring my experience to you guys that are watching here and offer you some of my insights and knowledge that I found. Because again, our understanding of psychedelics in this society, I feel, are just so skewed, and we don't even have to do the plants or the mushrooms or, I mean, even marijuana. We don't even have to do these plants to get a increase in consciousness from them. It's all about learning about it. You can simply just educate yourself about ayahuasca or mushrooms or marijuana or anything and gain benefit and an increase in consciousness just from doing so. So if you feel called to do ayahuasca or do any kind of psychedelics, again, we best learn through experience. You can, you know, be a, what do you call it, not keyboard warrior, but you can learn from books and articles on the internet as much as you want, but nothing is going to compare as to actually experiencing and learning directly from that, because nobody can alter or call your personal experience faulty. So again, if you're called to do it, go do it. Educate yourself, you know, prepare yourself beforehand. There was quite a bit of cleansing, you know, both physical and spiritual cleansing that had to occur before you even do ayahuasca. I even did ayahuasca, but, you know, go do it if it calls you. If it doesn't call you, that's fine. Still educate yourself about it so you're not ignorant and then, you know, go into any kind of conversation or situation without that understanding. And other than that, yeah, I mean, that was my experience. That's what I found. That's what happened to me. Happy to share all that with you guys. If you have any questions, feel free to send me, you know. And one last thing, you know, before I wrap this up here, 14 minutes in, I just want to say, you know, once I told people and posted it, especially on the internet, you know, everybody likes to give their opinions on the internet. Once I told people that I was doing ayahuasca, there was a lot of people that said to me, you know, you're opening yourself up for entity attachments or attack from Gnostic beings or spiritual forces or whatever the case is. Yes, that's possible. But if you go in with that intention of positivity, of not being harmed by any nefarious entities or any negative attachments to yourself, if you go in with that intention, if you simply say no, if you simply assert your own power of choice, your own sovereignty to any negative entities and say, you're not welcome here, right? You're not welcome in my body, in my being, in my spirit, They can't do anything to you. So that's a big thing to understand. There's nothing to fear but fear itself. There's nothing to fear when doing these medicines. But again, just it's all about being aware of what you're getting yourself into physically and spiritually and mentally, and doing it for your own soul growth, not your ego growth, because that's when you can have negative attachments cling on to you. So anyway, thank you all for tuning in. I will be back with many more videos in the coming days and weeks and months, and thank you all for your continued support of myself with what I'm doing, of this channel, and I'll have a lot of projects that I'll be announcing in the future. Take care, guys.